Here is your quickie Game of Thrones news update from the past 7-ish days. So this is what I consider to be the most important Game of Thrones / A Song of Ice and Fire news from about the past week-ish. Warning, there are spoilers in this video, or at least potential spoilers for the final season in this video. It all depends on what you consider spoilers. There's a large range when it comes to that and people. So as of right now, you are in charge of clicking X on this video if you don't want spoilers, and that includes if you play videos on autoplay. You are responsible for you. I am not responsible for you. I give you a warning. You now need to make a choice. With that out of the way, one of the showrunners from Game of Thrones, David, explained why the final season is taking so fucking long. He explained, "The final season is taking a long time because it's the biggest thing we've ever done. Even though it's 6 episodes, it was nearly a full year in Belfast either prepping it or shooting it. It's quite extraordinary what the crew and the actors created, and I think when people see it, they'll understand why it took so long. No one's going on vacation or slacking off. It's just that last season is far beyond what we've ever attempted before, and it is taking a really fucking long time, and I hope it will be worth it." From everything we know, this was a really intense season to film, and the actors were pushed harder than they've ever been pushed in previous seasons, which I'm okay with this season taking a long time to come out because I know when it does come out, it's going to be super impressive, including and especially the battle scenes. I mean, there's a reason why Game of Thrones cleans up at award shows. Fucking awesome. Next, if you're one of the millions of people that actually noticed Jon Snow's hair change and what it resembled, congratulations, you just got confirmation that you were right. In an interview, Jon's actor, Kit Harington, revealed that they wanted him to look more like Ned Stark, and that there's a real reason behind Jon's hairstyle, and it has been changing in the show to evolve with the story. Though in the interview, Kit did make it sound like he was starting to get nervous about cutting his Jon Snow hair, which, Kit, after HBO gives you the final green light and says, yeah, we don't have to do any reshoots or special effects with you, fucking do it. Just cut that shit off. You're gonna be hot regardless. Moving on, people sort of flipped out when Jorah's actor, Ian Glenn, was asked who he'd like to see sit on the throne, and he said, Daenerys. But added, you might be surprised by the obvious though. So it sort of sounds like Dany isn't on the throne at the end of the season, or maybe he's just backing his homegirl. I don't know. Do you think this comment was any sort of hint? I just think he would say Dany no matter what. He seems to love Emilia in real life as a good friend, so it makes sense. But speaking of Emilia Clarke, and in adorable news, she got a tattoo of 3 dragons on her wrist so she can always remember she's the mother of dragons. I think this is so super cute. Really, this show has taken up such a huge portion of her life. No wonder she wants to have something to remember it by. Lastly, George R. R. Martin took some time to answer some questions, including telling some reporters, I'm working on Winds of Winter. I wish I'd been done 4 years ago, honestly, but I'm slow. And the book is very complex, and there are a lot of distractions. But I'm making progress, and trying to eliminate as many distractions as I can. But it's hard, because there are a lot of great distractions out there. I still love History of Westeros' tweet to someone that freaked out that George even thought to step outside of his home and do something besides work on the Winds of Winter. Amazing. Next, George also talked about how Game of Thrones could have gone on for quite a few more seasons, something he's actually talked about in the past as well. So in an interview, he remarked, we could have gone on to 11, 12, 13 seasons, but I guess the showrunners David and Dan wanted a life. If you've read my novels, you know there was enough material for more seasons. They made certain cuts, but that's fine. George also said, David and Dan have been saying it for like 5 seasons, that 7 seasons is all they would go. We got them to go to 8, but not any more than that. There was a period like 5 years ago when they were saying 7 seasons, and I was saying 10 seasons, and they won. They're the ones actually working on it. Man, I wish George would have won that argument. Imagine the characters we could have seen that aren't in the show if it would have went on for even 2 more seasons. But George went on to remind us that we're not done with Westeros yet. He added, the world of Westeros is not wrapping up.
We have 5 prequels in various stages of development, so Game of Thrones is ending. But in the book series that I write, there is the basis for it. A Song of Ice and Fire, I still have 2 books to finish. Then we have 5 prequels.
Now, there is one thing he said that got me sort of nervous. When asked if he got emotional when he saw how the final season ended, he said,
"Well, you know, most of it is based on what I plan, so I got emotional about it 20 years ago, when I first thought up some of these things."
So he didn't say 100%, he said most and some, but still?
He's made it sound like D&D went their own way with the end a few times, and now he's making it sound like the final season will show us how the books actually end, at least for the characters that are actually in the show.
However, I'm not one of those people that freaks out when I know the ending of a story. I'm more of a it's the journey, not the destination type gal, so
But what are your thoughts on this news? Like, subscribe, and let me know in the comment section down below.